medium. I think you said, did you say medium, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
You said medium, okay. So I was just wondering, maybe the short, should we, the engineering, should that be part of this? Would that just be part of the internalized? Because the London Road one, for an example, right, you said from a cursory view, right? But you're gonna get a request for this again, right, with London Road? You're gonna get another request for your cursory view, but it might take the engineering to establish the right of way there and all that stuff.
Actually, London Road one is pretty simple. Yeah, it's just finding the road and just deciding whether or not there's, or planning with room and deciding whether, you know, is it a safety issue or is it a security issue? There's two different ways to look at it. Probably based on technical standards, the roadway would be considered safe, but then the security issue is what comes back to the psychic need and the psychic feeling of the users. And if they don't feel secure, then they perceive the road as being unsafe.
Okay, we've decided on medium, we're 10 to 4. If we're gonna get through any of these, we kinda gotta just do without a complete discussion on them. Interior grades to the Fort Frank's 15,000. I'd say you'd want that as a short term. The roof replacement, I don't think it's leaking, so that's a medium or long. That's to make it to match the color prior to 2010.
Well, it already has a different color on because they couldn't match it.
They made it match, so that can be long term when the roof needs to be replaced. Sound system, we've looked at that and we're looking at ways to deal with that. Pavilion, the construction, 87,000. Were we not, there's partners possible on that? Is that anything in the works dealing with that?
This one was normally planned actually for next year.
Yeah.
And I believe Councillor Scott can maybe speak to it, but I believe that
We have $10,000 put away for this already and have had since 2004. The people would like it.
Yeah.
10,000.
We have $10,000 sitting in a bank account for this.
So that's not right towards the sound system, right?
I don't know if the sound system is seniors.
Okay.
Okay.
It's, yeah, again, some things have to be pushed out a little bit because we don't have the means to make everything short term, unfortunately.
We haven't made it.
So it has to be, some of these things may have to be pushed out some just to be realistic with the monies we have available.
In the whole recreation budget, things do get pushed out because we did an X-Park that got in the head of the pavilion, so that when you bring something forward, something else moves out.
That's right.
Councillor Russell.
In terms of this one, forgetting what it is, this one has been
It's been on the books for a long time.
6, 8 years, and it's now made its year, obviously. So in fact, this one's probably one of the few things on this list that actually in the year it's supposed to be. Let's be honest.
Yep.
It's been pushed
Okay.
out for many years.
Next page, 23, Klondike irrigation system. There's partnerships on that. The cost, Councillor Russell.
I think this can be pushed out. I think I'd defer to Brent in terms of that. One part of the partnership. That partnership would be based on us doing the work so that we can establish what the costs are and then go and raise funds.
To put that in a 3-year plan.
Well, maybe, yeah.
And we can
I think
move
he
it
doesn't have the
forward.
time right now. I think it's one of those, let's move it into where it should be in a realistic way. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, I'd say probably.
Start next year and we'll work on it.
Utter Park upgrades, that was referred, there was dollars almost available.
Yeah, the original proposal was that the Recreation Committee was going to put their community grant towards this.
Yeah. And then we said not to do that.
That's right.
Put that in here. Councillor Scott?
Is it a safety issue? Are there chances that people, because it is an outside piece of equipment, is it chances that people can run into problems with short circuits and stuff? Like, where are we at with that?
For the cost of it, it's worth doing.
Yes. So short term.
Library expansion in Forest?
Yeah, I'd like to talk on that.
Certainly.
Okay, yeah, I think this could be a partnership project as well, considering like I'm looking at the possibility of putting in eventually public toilets with it if we expand it. And we could do that, but I would like to make it a medium term, so we could be looking at fundraising and identifying partners for, let's say, 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
Because it's going to happen eventually, but it gives us time to be looking at it and prepare.
Okay. We'd have no idea what the dollar amount would that be, but it might be.
No idea. So that's
$1 million
why 3 to
in 5
4
or
years
6
is
years.
good, and now we can look for it.
Rotary Square spray pads, we've talked about that in the partnership, so that's in the short term range. I think so. Council chambers renovation, 68,000.
It's gone forever.
Cost range from 5,000 to 68,000.
I put it in short term to
Put it in short term.
see what happens.
See what happens.
We've talked about for 2 years about having a sound system in here. I think we spend the $5,000, put a sound system in this building. There's been a lot of good decisions made in here. It has its limitations. If we have a sound system, would make it a lot better, and I think that we should move forward with that. Councillor Russell, you had your hand up.
I was just gonna make a motion that we accept the bid that we had on the sound system from 2 years ago.
That's,
Not joking. Could I just, one quick one, Mr. Mayor? That was a joke. And I don't, like you said, there was a lot of new stuff here. One of the things I asked during budget last year was about a sidewalk replacement program. And I know I could say in my word, nothing on this list, but I will, nothing on this list. I don't.
You've got it all.
Council chambers.
I've got it all. We have a
Got
perfect
it all.
one. We had the most beautiful, no. But anyways, all I was asking was, would that be part of the general budget in
Yeah,
terms of,
yeah.
I just because I do have some major sidewalk problems in Bedford that have to do with width as much as replacement and stuff.
Yeah, the thought was just to put in when you look at the capital plan right now, it's just a blanket amount that we put in every year. And then we go.
I'm great, thank you.
okay. Before we go to the next page,
Yeah, I do think that we should be investing in the sound system here. But I also think we need to keep our minds open to possibilities. I did notice that actually the library over at the Legacy Center is only open 3 days a week. So for 3 days, it's not used at all, and it's got a large space, and it would be very easy to have a setup like this at the library over there, with lots of higher ceilings, natural light, and if we need the space for people to sit at. Take a look at it next time you're there, it has possibilities. But
We'll have
we
to-
could use a sound system if it's portable there.
Yeah, I think
or wherever.
that if that's the case, if we're gonna defer, then we'll look at something that's slightly forward.
okay?
Just a quick question, just to make Councillor Russell happy, the gazebo out here, when's it gonna be?
We still have to work with our contractor on that. There's a 2-year maintenance period.
Is there,
Yeah, it's
it is really falling apart.
Yeah, we're gonna ask them to start, what they can, and what they can't. We've already started discussing in terms of a plan to make it right, so we don't have to do a lot of work on it.
Okay,
Woodworks.
so, a motion on the sound system to proceed with it in this building?
Is it portable though? Can okay. As long as it's portable and we can take it somewhere else.
I can
do this.
Or bring back a report?
I'll try not to be too windy, but basically what's been recommended is that you can, we'll just put microphones up the middle here, and then it captures ambient sound, and we'll have speakers in the corners, so you can get its distribution.
I'll let you borrow my daughter's karaoke machine if you want.
Where are we gonna hang the mayor's picture? Because we've already bought it.
It's a Barbie
Okay. Page 24, traffic study, short, medium, or long, $100,000 for Ontario Street and Grand Bend. We're gonna start it 2 years out, next year, start the traffic study. This is the widening, and this has to do, part of that'll work with the crosswalks if we're doing that. Would that not be part of it?
Well, the crosswalks will definitely impact traffic.
Yeah, so that's all part of the study would be the crosswalks. Short term,
Yeah, well,
When was the last one done?
for Ontario Street, was
Yeah.
done when they put the traffic light in, I believe, at Lake Road, was it not?
So what year would that be?
That was about 12 years ago.
First one or second?
let's do that.
About 12 years ago, it needs to be updated. Put it in there, see where it fits. Craig Whitey's program, there's no dollars in there,
That will be forthcoming.
okay? Ice management, 112,000 or 763,000.
Yeah, I'll just quickly qualify this number. It's a little preemptive, but the ABC will be bringing the budget forward. and they recognize that